What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today we have the Alliance Quest, the Night of the Moth that is returned again, and it has brought with it this buggy-eyed, weird-looking mothy dude from the forest, Chimister. Is our brand new hero in the Moth portal. So we're going to have a closer look at Chimister today and see whether he is a good addition to the family that is just taking over the meta at the moment. So let us jump right into the portal and we'll get started. So here he is, just rocking it out. He looks a bit confused, I must say. But our latest hero before him was obviously Limebower or Limebowery, however you want to say her name, but she's not really taken off in a big way. A lot of folks thought she was going to be the new Granny Bernadette, but unfortunately without that priority dispel, she just isn't. And then obviously we've had this dude featured very recently as well, Till Moyne. And he gives the deep sleep effect, or he was like the first time that we'd seen the deep sleep effect. Again, I don't really think it's taken off in a huge way, but what is the family bonus, the Moth family bonus is still very, 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 very strong. So those brand new heroes are featured alongside Chimister in the portal. So he's another another ice hero from the family. So another blue hero in the portal. He does, of course, get that all-important bonus. So the Moth family, just for those who don't know, they get a bonus from a single hero upwards. At the start of each turn, casts Moth Dust to a random enemy for either 2, 3, or 4 turns, depending on how many of these heroes you have on your team. And the Moth Dust reduces the mana generation by 30%. If this Moth Dust is cleansed or removed, then the target falls asleep and it receives 80% increased damage while sleeping. And the worst thing about all of that is that you can't gain mana, you can't attack while you're sleeping. So until you get hit by a massive hit with 80% increased damage, you're kind of stuck. And until that point, you have reduced mana generation anyway. So yeah, that's what makes these heroes so strong on defense. They do get additional bonuses in the Night of the Moth event, which is obviously currently ongoing. So good luck to you guys if you're competing in that. And they do get a passive, which I'm not too sold on. So this character gets a 15% chance to dodge special skills that deal damage. It's not that great. Right, so moving into the world of stats. We don't have any limit breaks or emblems or max power on, and he's running a team power of 12-14. So as I said, it's getting away from us a little bit now. He is more attacking. So 1306 on the attack, 1184 on defense, and 2148 on health. And if you do go for second limit breaks and emblems, he's going to get the Ailment Immunity on the Ether Talent, which is a great one because at the start of the battle, he's immune to any new status ailments for 6 turns. Doesn't mean Bernie can't still dispel it and then wreck him anyway. But yeah, you get what I mean. Like, he's immune to most status ailments, or pretty much all status ailments, unless it's dispelled for the first 6 turns. And it's very strong because you need a dispel to get rid of it. As far as the card is concerned, the actual art on the hero, I'm not the hugest fan, but I'm not hating it either. It's again one of those ones where it could be a he or a she, or it could be an anything really. And he looks like he's kind of a nerd, like trying to tell what's going on in his crystal ball, potions attached, like no idea what's going on with this guy. And his special is called Mutating Mixture. So I don't think he knows what's going on either. He's running at very fast speed though, which is awesome to see. So all enemies will receive, that's 1,430 toxin damage over 5 turns. Now this toxin damage is increased against targets with boosted health, minions, or a mega minion. So it says here it's increased by 100% against targets with boosted health. It's increased by 33% per minion or mega minion owned by the target, up to a maximum increased damage of 199%. So this is like dot damage on steroids, because it increases depending on whether the targets have the boosted health or whether they have minions or mega minions. So it's awesome. It's kind of like a corrosive damage, and it's a different damage type that we don't see with anyone other than the Moth. So there's kind of no counters to the damage over time, which is awesome. So no family bonuses are going to counter it. Like the gargoyles with the poison and the burn and everything else. You're just going to go straight through that. And that's a lot of damage for somebody running at fast speed over 5 turns. So I'm liking this so far. Of course, that is with the limit breaks and emblems. If you switch them off, it's 985 over 5 turns. But yeah, I'd go for just increase this guy's attack. And that's why he's more attackingly built, because the damage over time, the toxin damage scales off of his attack stat. So you want that attack stat to be as high as possible. Sky's the limit. Just go for it. And then he dispels buffs from all enemies. So that's cool. So it's cool because he doesn't deal any upfront damage. He gives out the toxin damage. So unless they have like a reflect, they could reflect the toxin damage back, obviously, or an ailment immunity. The toxin damage is not going to stick. So the dispel coming afterwards is a little bit less strong, but you can still work around it. If you have a priority dispeller or somebody else who dispels next to him and you want that damage to stick, then yeah, it's kind of like Ray's effect, because Ray gives his burn damage first and then he dispels all the buffs and then he gives the elemental defense down. So this guy gives the toxin damage first, then he dispels the buff. So just be wary of the order, but otherwise I think it's something that you can definitely work with. All allies regenerate 1,300 boosted health over 5 turns. That's sweet. And boosted health can exceed max HP. So this is, I should have said here, if the enemy has the toxin status ailment. So if they already have toxin, then that's what he's going to do. He's going to increase the toxin damage over 5 turns, which is pretty huge. And then he's going to give 1,300 boosted health regen over 5 turns, which is awesome. There are, I think, other heroes that do toxin damage. Let me just double check here. Who else does toxin damage? Does this dude do some? I'm sure it's in the Moth family. It's probably, who is it? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you've got somebody like Satin Pimenta, obviously that's going to be an awesome pairing. I don't know who else is doing the toxin damage. Is the 4-star doing toxin? Oh, yeah. So if you've got the 4-star Shiomber, and then you pull the 5-star from this portal, then I know he's not in the same color, but it might be worth looking at leveling him just to get that toxin damage out. Doesn't matter how much he's doing, because you really want that effect too, I'm going to assume, because the toxin damage is obviously going to increase everything else. So here we go. So otherwise, so this otherwise one should kind of want it to be first, but hey, it isn't. So if you just cast this hero and there's no toxin damage at all on any of the enemies on the opposite team, then this will happen. All enemies will receive 1,145 toxin damage over 5 turns. So it does last 5 turns. So he is going to get round to his special again within those 5 turns, hopefully. And then it dispels buffs from all enemies. So the only bit that he doesn't really get is the health regeneration. But that is a nice amount of health regeneration. And I don't mind it, because you don't mind that coming a little bit later on in the battle, because he's going to be ready within 2 tile matches anyway. You can kind of wait around a little bit for that health boost to come along. That being said, I don't think there's anything that's super not to like about this hero. I don't think he's ridiculously strong. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think that he's going to break the game in any way. But I do think he's going to be an awesome hero for you to have on your team as a healer and as a damage over time hero. And you can pair him up with other heroes that increase damage over time, like Matilda and like, what's that guy's name from the Magic Portal? I just literally pulled him the other day. The green guy. I can't remember his name now, that increases the damage over time. Bear with 1 second. 1 moment, please. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Now, this dude, Telonius. So this guy, I want to level him actually, because we've got the hero coach coming up and he's going to be eligible for that. But the great thing about him is that the first part of his special, all enemies take plus 36% increased damage from status ailments for 3 turns. And they receive 129 poison damage over 3 turns. So that, I believe, can get up to 50% increased damage. And you know what? Because it's at the first mana charge, he's running at very fast speed. So this guy will be good to go within 2 tile matches as well. So you've got a damage increaser. It's a real pity that he's not in blue. But then you've got this dude as well. And obviously Matilda's in Holy. So like, there's not many others that I can think of that will help to increase the damage. But you know, as it is, 1,400 toxin damage is still quite a lot. So yeah, I'm not on the fence. I do think he's a good hero. I do think he's going to be a fun hero to play around with. Kind of disappointing that he doesn't heal at the first charge, but you know what? It is what it is, and I still think he's going to be quite good on defense. I don't think he's going to break the game. So we'll give him a solid A plus as far as the Moth heroes go. So huge congratulations if you are lucky enough to run into Chimister on your summoning travels. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about this brand new hero in the Moth portal. Do drop us a like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all of you who've been showing your support for my recently reaching the 5,000 subscriber milestone. I really appreciate all of that. So yeah, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already and you don't want to miss any future content. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.